Yeah, you know, when I get out of control at the shop, they do this anyway.
Yeah, they gotta strap you down. Ryan's acting up again.
Just strap that guy in the back.
Becoming paralyzed is many people's worst nightmare, but to me, it's my reality. I'm Cruz, and today, I'm bringing you into my world. Let's hope you can get some perspective, and let's have a chat.
Hey guys, my name is Cruz Bogle, and I am your host of this Paralyze This series. Here with me today, I have Ryan Heavyside. He is a buddy of mine and a local surf shop owner called Nomad Surf Shop, a professional surfer, and also a model. My man, how are you doing?
I'm good, Cruz.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Dude, thanks for coming on the show, man. I'm glad to have you here strapped down.
Yeah, we're definitely strapped.
How you feeling? It's only been a minute or two now.
You know,
So far so good?
so far, but definitely not moving.
Yeah, not going anywhere.
Yeah.
The point of this series is to kind of change people's perspectives on life, on whether it's their life, the people around them, their problems. So hopefully we have that ability to maybe touch your life and change your perspective. On that note, have you ever thought of possibly becoming disabled or being in a situation like this?
I mean, it's crossed my mind, and just, you know, that change. I mean, obviously, you know, knowing you and, you know, doing sports that, you know, that you relate to your accident,
right.
you know, it's definitely, and I don't do that as much anymore because of the factor. But yeah, I mean, it comes a lot, you know, and I've met some people that I've met along the way who've had injuries on, you know, surfing, and
Right.
so it has, and it's you know, I mean, you can think about it, but put in perspective, this definitely puts you there.
Right.
You know, and
Right. Like you said, you can kind of think about it, but it'll probably, you know, you'll think about it for a minute and then it may be gone.
Yeah.
But that's the goal of this, to hopefully give you just that even a little bit more perspective of what it may be like.
yeah, I mean, just simple stuff as, you know, your shoes and stuff like that.
Right.
And yeah.
Itch on your face,
Yeah.
brushing your teeth, drinking some water, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So your shop Nomad is in Briny Breezes,
Yeah.
a sunny South Florida surf shop. Go check it out. So I actually had my accident right down, you know, the beach, pretty much right down from you guys,
Yeah.
just over 10 years ago. Did you ever hear about my accident, right after?
I
right
did,
at that time?
and I knew there's some stuff going on, and kind of just caught wind, and, you know, no one really knew how severe at first, but it definitely, and then hearing how it happened,
Right.
you know, was kind of a mind, you know, wow, you know, stuff that all of us kind of do every day. And
Right, you never think
yeah,
something like that may happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty heavy, and then, you know, even just diving off the wave and knowing, you know, it could change, you know, it's just craziness. So
Right.
I always try to put in perspective when jumping off, or, you know, and it's hard to do it, if it's, you know, 8 foot and, you know, last thing on your mind,
Right.
so it's crazy. One wrong maneuver and it could definitely change everything, obviously.
Yeah. But it's like the awareness aspect of it is kind of a catch-22, because you want to be aware that it could possibly happen, but you don't want to stop. I wouldn't advise, even being in the situation, I wouldn't advise anybody to live their life that much differently.
No.
You know, as far as surfing or whatever, oh, I'm not going to go skimboard anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell somebody they shouldn't skimboard. It was a freak accident. That's just part of life.
Yeah.
Obviously, it would suck if it happened to somebody else, but you got to keep, doing what's fun.
Yeah,
and
you gotta
enjoy.
keep thriving, do what you love. Obviously, if every day people held back from, thinking,
Right.
letting it hold them back would be a change,
Yeah.
A lot of people, especially professional athletes, that's how they make their living. If they kept, just pulling back because of it on their mind, they wouldn't really get anywhere.
Yeah.
So,
100%.
yeah, I mean, we get people every day in the shop, they won't even touch the sports because of, the factor of that on their mind. And
Really?
that's kind of mind-blowing. People are like, oh, I don't know.
Too dangerous.
Yeah, too dangerous, injury factor. A lot of it's the shark thing, but that's South Florida. That's,
Right. Comes with the territory.
Yeah, exactly.
But also, that's probably you get a lot of tourists who are probably from like up north who probably have never even had the chance to surf or skimboard, right?
Yeah.
So that's like a huge change for them. It's not like us, like kind of growing up around it. So.
Yeah, and you know the factor of the way they fall compared to some of us that you know
may know how.
May know how to kind of, you know, it's just like crazy. They definitely are the ones where you try to educate them a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, because just gonna hop on the thing and think they're gonna
Right.
you know glide, but it's like yeah.
It takes a little more than that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're definitely coming from all over, and you see it. I mean, the other day at the beach, some people were just caught in a rip, getting sucked out to sea because, you know, the awareness I'd paddle over with my board and 3 people on the board because their knowledge of, you know.
Yeah. Wow.
So that was pretty heavy.
You just took them out.
I got them out of the rip, and then a lifeguard finally came over, and
Was that right behind the shop?
yeah, it was pretty
Wow.
decent wind chop, so they were.
In danger.
Yeah, they were in a pretty bad situation. So you
Man.
know, and the craziest thing is to think if it was after 5 and none of us were surfing and the lifeguards weren't there, it could have just been, you know.
Right, just like that.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
So you, being a big surfer, you get to travel a lot of places.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I admire most about you is just like
Thanks. Yeah.
what you get to see and experience in like these beautiful places, whether it's just visiting or surfing.
Yeah.
What would you say are your top 3 places that you've visited?
I mean, there's the aspect of, you know, like wave-wise, like out in Indonesia, the Mentawais, some of the best surf in the world. And
Really?
yeah, you can kind of go out there and be a pirate, and you know, no one's around. It's beautiful, like remote white islands, and
Yeah.
so that's on that part. But you know, I've always had a big thing like for Europe. You know, it's just crazy, the culture, and
Right.
you know, their culture's older than our whole country, and you know, the streets, and I mean, you walk by these like statues that are just like, you know, so detailed, and
Right.
they've been there thousands of years, and
The architecture.
Yeah.
And all that.
yeah, so that's pretty good. And, you know, recently got a bit of the snowboard factor over the years, and that's cool, but
Yeah.
I like being warm, so.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not that
I
cool.
wouldn't say that's on the top, but it's, you know. But yeah, like, you know, Indonesia, I really enjoy like Italy and stuff, just their culture, their food, all that. So that's pretty cool. And then I spent a lot of time in Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, surf's good. That's A+, but also their culture's pretty, I mean, you can walk through that country and see like the poorest people happy as can be, just
Right.
simplified, you know?
Right. The Pura Vida.
Yeah, they're just stoked on what they got, and they
Right.
keep on going, so that's pretty amazing to see, you know, especially where we live in South Florida.
Yeah.
A lot of-
A little spoiled here.
Yeah, a lot of dollars floating around.
Certainly are.
Yeah.
So you went to Surf Ranch?
Yeah,
Is that Kelly Slater's?
that's Slater's Park, yeah. I was
Nice.
fortunate enough to get an invite out there from Quicksilver.
Hey.
Thanks, Quicksilver.
There you go, Quicksilver. We love you.
Else I probably wouldn't have, you know, been able to make it there. They've kept it kind of under wraps. But it's crazy to see these technologies. I mean,
Right.
people are surfing in the middle of nowhere.
That's crazy. Yeah, can you kind of describe how it works or like what it is for these
I
viewers who
mean,
may not
yeah,
know?
yeah. Like Slater's is, you know, like a train, like runs kind of down along the pool and has kind of a little underground, like almost looks like a snowplow, I guess you could say.
Okay.
And as it moves, it creates groundswell, and then you know they shape the pool contour, so that's how it creates the swell. And I mean that thing is just, you know.
Sickest wave.
Yeah, it's mind blowing. You
That's
know,
cool.
and like catch a wave. I mean, at the end of the day, you're getting that same feeling. You're not in the ocean. It's not nature, but it brings you back to be like a kid. You know, like you're like, oh, this is why I started. You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just. And I think here the urge of how people have grown up surfing bad waves, and they've made it. A lot of, you know, like Kelly himself is from Florida.
Yeah.
The hot goods, and you know, if you had that at a young age, it would be even. You know.
Right, more beneficial.
Yeah, so the future is just the doors open.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the BSR one, they're using like air/water pump kind of chambers,
Hmm.
and they pump it like in synchronized. But that thing you can change the wave by just raising your hand, and they can next wave be an air section.
Really?
Yeah, next one be a barrel.
No way.
Yeah, I think they run it off an iPad.
What?
Yeah.
And where's that one?
That one's in Waco, Texas.
So that's the one you went to or no?
I went to that one too recently with Vans.
Wow.
Yeah, they're getting there. That's the next step. I think Florida is going to get one.
Think so?
Yeah, they broke ground out there. It's just probably the logistics, but
Yeah,
we need one bad.
for sure. That'd be
Game
sweet.
changer.
They'd probably put it in what, Orlando or something like
They
that?
actually broke ground on that one, like West Palm, Jupiter area. Like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, close to Morosa area.
Okay, so not too far.
No, not too far.
Sweet.
So it'd be interesting to see what they do with as far as membership /
Yeah.
they've kind of rated those places as like pro facility training grounds,
Right. So not necessarily open to the whole public.
Not yet, I mean the other ones like BSR and them, like I went to that one in Waco. That one's pretty rad as far as like an economic standpoint
Yeah.
for every day and getting a lot of waves and the cost. But
Yeah.
now people are surfing in the middle of Texas and yeah, I mean I met a few guys there and they're just like, oh, I never surfed before this pool.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Just, yeah.
Right. They don't even get to experience that.
Yeah, I've never even been by the ocean.
Wow.
And so, I mean, that's just crazy where surfing's going to go. And then,
Yeah.
an Olympic standpoint too,
Yeah. I was just gonna bring that up next. That they just got into 2020 Olympics. I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of cool in that factor. It's not as exciting to watch as like a random
Yeah,
crazy beach
competition.
break, like Pipeline and all that. And
Yeah.
the luck if a set comes or the timing. It is kind of scenic, but for them to hold an Olympic thing and go halfway around the world and it be knee high and you got the best surfers in the world competing in
Yeah.
mediocre surf, it's like you're like, oh boy, how do you even,
Yeah.
So for that factor, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. For the growth of like the sport.
Yeah,
The awareness
and
of it.
to be able to hold it and it's fair for everyone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Really find out who the champion is.
yeah, exactly.
Every wave is exactly
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same.
And like an audience perspective, I mean, it's kind of staged like if you're sitting there watching a soccer game, but
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully Florida's next for them. We need it.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
So come on, Slater.
Let's go, Slater. Up your game.
Open that thing up. We'll get Cruz out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A buddy of mine was actually telling me that he saw, I don't know if it was actually at Kelly's Park or not, but a paraplegic, so he had his arms
Yeah.
a little more control than I have, but he was on a surfboard surfing at one of these like indoor
Yeah.
or
I think there's
man-made
one, but
places.
Jesse, Jesse, he works with Hurley a lot, but
Yeah.
they do a big event. It'd actually be cool to maybe try to link up, with him for
Yeah.
your show stuff. He's done a lot of the surf, but I think he's from the neck down, and
Oh, really?
yeah, he may have a little movement. I'm not sure, but he went there, and I think he got full barreled.
That's
So,
epic.
yeah,
That would be pretty amazing.
that's on the list.
Yeah.
Cruz, we gotta get you some tube time.
Yeah, for sure. Kyle, write that down. The dude Jesse, is he from Cali?
He's from California, yeah.
Do you know if he started the Life Rolls On
Yeah,
thing?
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I've
that's
heard
his.
about him.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
yeah, that'd be kind of maybe through the shop or something. We reach out,
Yeah.
and I know it's grown over the years, and he has big events. He holds. One might be at Huntington during the U.S. Open, and
Yeah,
a few, but it's pretty inspiring.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about him from a couple different people over the years, but I've
Mhm.
never actually made contact with him.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty sweet.
for sure.
Yeah. So your shop, Nomad Surf Shop, has been open for just over 50 years now.
Yeah,
Pops Ron Heavyside started it.
yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about what it was like growing up in that kind of surf shop lifestyle, and
Yeah.
just the community around there?
Yeah, I mean, of course, as I was younger, it was always just all I wanted to do was be in the water, and we had access to every little toy and
Yeah.
no lack of surfboards, so it was cool to that. And then with my dad being a board builder, it was even better. Like, Dad, I want to try this board, and
Right.
and then we'd paint it together and stuff like that. But growing up in our area, of course, it's set in between these towns of Delray and all that, and Rich, and the neighborhood behind the shop's pretty rustic and
Mhm.
kind of cool, and that was always a blessing. Even though we, Florida was growing, it still felt like, mini tropical little.
Right, you had your own little space.
Yeah, a little vibe out back, and some days I would just never leave the beach. It was just, we did play baseball a lot. That was kind of inspiring, just changed it up, but, then it started getting hard when the waves were firing and you had to go to practice.
Right.
You're like,
Right, pick your favorite.
Yeah, so, surfing took over a bit, but, growing up around the shop, it was nonstop. We actually had a house in Ocean Ridge, and we just were never there. So, one day Dad was just like, all right, what are we doing? We're just kind of holding on this. So then we moved, literally, like, I lived above the shop, 20 years. And
oh, really?
Yeah.
No way.
I still live in the neighborhood behind the shop now, so it's, say, home / work / creative zone.
Right.
And what my dad came from, he came, from Canada young, went to California, and then he wasn't really a rich kid. He just kept on going, and the creative side, like his craftsmanship with the boards, and he kept just going from, he had a little 75 square foot shop that his dad gave him.
Really?
He had a TV repair store, and to see what he did over the years, just keep on trucking was pretty radical. Just,
I'm sure.
Like anything you want, if you go after it, just keep on going.
Right, you can achieve it.
Yeah, so.
Where was that 75-foot square shop? Was that in Canada, or that was when he came?
No, same location.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, where Nomad is?
Yeah.
No way.
The door where you enter, when you come in, right to the left.
Oh, the little.
Yeah, or to the right when you're facing it. Yeah, where the girl side kind of is.
Yeah.
That was the original.
No way.
Grandpa had a TV repair store, and then Dad had like a little mini pie shaped.
Wow.
I think it had like 10 boards and like a little round rack of board shorts.
That's awesome. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's
so,
killer.
Still in the same spot. So, the 50-year mark is just to still be there, and we still shape our own boards there, and if the walls could talk, I guess it would be.
They'd say some things.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
Wow. So when was it 50 years ago that it transferred from the TV repair shop to the surf shop?
68 was when the shop got put next to it.
Okay.
And then, obviously we kept growing, and then my grandpa was kind of, the TV game probably started changing, technology-wise, and then he went into doing a lot of woodwork. And then actually Pops and my grandpa, they even did a lot of, between the resin work, they did a lot of cool custom bar tops and tables, and I still get people this day floating around like, I had this table that your grandpa built me and your dad resin, and it's still like in their house, Yeah,
we were actually, Kyle and I were just at Mike McDowell's house the other day, and I rolled in and I saw this table. And it was funny because it caught my eye because my house up in Maine, when I used to live up there, we had a similar table. It wasn't like resined as nice.
Yeah.
But I like commented on the table. I was like, yo, man, where'd you get that table? Like, I used to have one just like this. And he was like, oh, no way, man. I just saw Ryan the other day. This is actually one of the first tables his dad resined way back in the day. And I was like, no way.
Yeah, it's pretty rad to, see those things still floating around.
Yeah,
because it's like, they're family creations, and people still have them. It's like cool. It's cool to see. It's like that stuff's priceless.
Yeah, 100%.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's rad.
Very cool. So your dad has been shaping boards. Opened the shop 50 years ago. Been shaping boards longer than that, right?
Yeah, he probably shop started in '68. He kind of started shaping in '64. He actually started at a place called Caribbean Surfboards. Used to be on the tracks in Delray.
Okay.
Owned by some like old, I don't know, guy that had like Hobies and a few, and then did his own label.
Yeah.
He started sweeping the floor there, and then kind of learned the trade and kept going from there. And then he branched off, started his own label.
That's wild.
He was doing that, and then we had a factory off High Paluxo up there, and that was through the '70s, maybe early '80s, and that's when things were really taking off. So. He was always big on his like color and his pin lines, and so that was kind of how Nomad got known, And then he would do the truck up the coast and go all the way up to Maine and New Hampshire and just sell them along the way.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So yeah, like the Nomad Surfboard brand was definitely bigger than our like our clothing now.
Right.
It's pretty solid. but that's what we were built off of.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
man.
the surfboard factor. So and everyone's always like, "Oh, how'd you get into surfing?" And I was like, you know,
Born into it.
kind of didn't have a choice, I guess. So
That's
you know.
awesome, man.
So yeah, it's pretty radical, especially when people bring back these boards, or you see them light up and talk about their first board, and they like remember it like the day they got it.
Yeah.
Those are the special moments, you know.
Most definitely.
Especially, you know, Dad just doing his thing he loved, and you know.
Created something pretty special.
Yeah, you know, creating smiles along the way.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you, how long have you been shaping now?
I kind of did off and on over the past 10 years. I hadn't had like full focus because of the, you know, a couple of my other gigs, and then you know, the shop itself. You know, but I love shaping and then riding it, and that factor is pretty cool to, you know, create something and then go test it and go, all right, back to the drawing board, or that thing was, you know, money.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Get to adjust it through the whole
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
Very cool. Have you ever thought of opening up another shop?
In my personal perspective, no, because I probably would have no free time.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's been, you know, a lot of people have reached out to us. My dad actually had multiple shops at one point.
Really?
Yeah, we had one in Delray and another small one in Boca. And, you know, even the beginning, you know, like where Island Water Sports is in Deerfield,
Yeah.
it actually at one point was called Nomad Water Sports.
Was it really?
Yeah.
No
And then,
way.
you know, he sold it off, and a guy, Carl, I think, who has a pretty cool distribution company for surf supplies.
Yeah.
I think he kind of started it, and then it branched over into, you know, the Control family, which super nice people, but that's kind of, I think, where the Island Water Sports.
Wow.
So yeah, the multiple shops were cool, but you know, when my dad, I used to talk about it, he was like, oh, it was never
Much.
stopped. Yeah. So, and we're a pretty prime spot where we are now, and
Yeah.
yeah, pretty.
People know you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to have a location like that, it's kind of great, because nowadays everybody's building, and you never know who's going to pop up next to you, and
Right.
so. But yeah, I think that's one of the reasons we're still going strong. The A1A cruise,
Yeah, man.
and then stop in, and so.
It's like the prime local surf shop for sure.
Yeah, it's, you know, if you're going down and all you see is big homes, and at least you can pull in and
Yeah.
break up the day, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
And you guys have the Nomad Surf juice and coffee going now,
Yeah,
too, right?
it's an addition to our repertoire.
It's going pretty well, right?
Yeah, it's solid, you know. That's the same kind of thing. We got, you know, the deli next to us, they crush it.
Mhm.
Good sandwiches. We just kind of created a little healthy truck, you know,
Right.
acai smoothies. We were always like, had to leave and go try to find it and drive 2 towns over. So we're like, why don't we create it?
Yeah, you had the truck there already.
Yeah, the truck I had, it's always been in my mind, you know, for years. It kind of truck sat for a number of years, and finally one day I pulled the trigger. And
Yeah.
I give anyone credit who runs a restaurant. That's a whole nother world. But
Really?
yeah, I mean, I'm nowhere on the factor of what people do every day in big restaurants, but it's a whole nother ball game, you
I'm
know.
sure.
So,
Yeah, since you've been in retail and surfboards
Yeah.
for a while.
and it's cool to add to our vibe, you know. People pull over and grab a little bowl smoothie and wander in, and
Yeah, exactly.
maybe check out some new boards, and
Yeah,
so it's yeah, it's working well.
very cool.
Yeah.
Right on, man. So you guys also create a custom surfboard every year for my event, Cruisapalooza. Better and better every year.
Yeah.
And it's we talk about it all the time, but it's like, how are we going to outdo this past year?
Yeah, I don't know. We just gotta start.
Get the brains
Yeah, the
together
brain's
again.
going, you know.
Yeah.
When you come over to the shop and step into the boardroom, we kind of, you know, we start putting two in together.
Yeah.
You know, it always turns out amazing. You know, obviously one of a kind, and
Yeah.
you never know what's going to happen at the auction itself. But hopefully, you know, when we do that presence, people see, like, you know, what's gone into it, you know, and
Yeah.
it's cool to have that creative, especially with your artwork, you know, that you're doing. And
Yeah. Tie it into the board.
yeah, I mean, they've been some of the most creative boards we've done just because of what we throw into them, and you know, to do our part, it's nice, you know. I mean, and also through like something, you know, functional where you can even ride it if you want to.
Yeah. Not necessarily just a piece of art.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, man, they are always killer.
Yeah.
Once again, I appreciate that you guys
no
even
worries.
do that, man.
It's a rad thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you can get creative with it. And, you know, when we see it at the end of the day, it's like when we're in the boardroom, we're kind of like, going back and forth. And we're like, maybe, is this going to work? But
Right.
then when it pops up, it's like, okay,
It works.
here we go again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thanks for letting us be a part of that.
Yeah, man, no problem. They've gone from, I think, it's always in a live auction.
Yeah.
I think they've gone from $1,300 to like $7,500.
Yeah.
Which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, so.
What would like a regular board be? $800 or something if they just came into the shop and bought it?
Yeah, I mean, a custom one with some bells and whistles, you know. Standard clear ones start a little less, but yeah, and the factor, like your boards would probably be in that $8.99 range with all the bells and whistles.
Right.
But to see them get good and the amount of money, because they are one of a kind, it's pretty cool. Like, even if they're just hanging it, no one's gonna have that same board in their house or
anywhere.
Yeah, it's one of one.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that a lot of people do just hang them just because of because how beautiful they are. But also, like you said, they are functional. If you want to go out and ride it, you can.
Yeah,
it's the beautiful thing.
Ride that thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'd be psyched. I'd be psyched.
For sure.
See someone glide by on a cruise board.
Yeah, the one cruise board.
Yeah,
that'd be epic.
Yeah.
So also at the shop, you guys do a couple surf competitions and like involved with some beach cleanups. Can you tell me a little bit about some of those?
Yeah, I mean, the beach cleanup factor is just trying to do what we can. I mean, there's so much trash nowadays. It's just nonstop, and it's you never get to the full, like everything always clean, but at least you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And the events and stuff we do, hopefully with the community. I mean, we're doing one coming up with Save Our Barrier Island and beaches. It's kind of creating awareness about what some of these developers are doing and stuff, and they come in and all of a sudden just start ripping things out that are native to Florida.
Yeah.
And they do a lot. They hold our dunes, and then they're wondering why their beach is gone, and and then the counties have to pump millions of dollars into beach renourishment.
Right.
And it's just crazy, and it's all because of the factor of destroying something and that snowball effect.
Yeah. If you can start by not even destroying it, then why not?
It's hard to say. Some people are just blinded by that factor of their business is money. And
yeah. So you're actually trying to save the beach behind the shop
trying to do
right
what
now,
we can. That little dune means a lot to us there, especially our beach is one of the only in Palm Beach County. You don't have to really touch the sand. It always kind of stays. So you start ripping things out like that, who knows what it's going to do in the future.
Yeah.
Next year you could walk down the path and be like,
right.
looking at the water and have beach. 5 feet of beach. And,
we don't want that. That's for sure.
No. So I mean, any part we can do. The events is really like on a part of just the retail side. The events are big because that's your community.
Yeah.
That's what keeps us going.
Right, brings the community together too.
Yeah.
Working together.
Yeah, have a little fun doing it. Maybe a little music, a couple knee slides.
There you go. A couple knee slides. Righteous, man. So you've probably been strapped in for about 30 minutes now, maybe? How are you feeling now? Is it phasing you at all anymore, or are you just still kind of just vibing?
I mean, I'm comfortable, but not, just, like you said, it puts you in perspective of just your easy every day, or even like...
Right, a little itch.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's full on. You get definitely putting you in the zone here.
Yeah.
But, not losing yet, but, for longevity, you definitely... You got a thing going here where you can put people's mind into, realize, I think that's, like we talked before this, like everyday people are so uptight about littlest things, so.
The slightest perspective change could just, could be a game changer.
Yeah, I mean, I had some stuff like when I was young, a little health thing, and it lightened me up a bit, nowhere near what you got, but it definitely, I never was like a real punk or anything, but some days I'd catch myself like, bitching about something minor, and nowadays I'm like, nah, that's, you know, for you, I mean, shit, you know, I'm sure sometimes you hear people and you're just kind of gonna just probably, you know, blow by it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think people need to really realize just, you know, before they're uptight and losing their mind over minor stuff, like, it's not that bad, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I hear, I mean, there's definitely via social media mostly, but like
Yeah.
in person too, you see whether it's somebody complaining or whatever the case may be. You know, I try not to like, it's all relative, you know, everybody has their own issues and problems that they have to deal with. Obviously they're going to deal with them differently than, you know, you or I might.
Yeah.
But that's, you know, just the slightest perspective change could honestly just like open your eyes to just a whole new avenue, a whole new way to live your life.
Yeah.
And appreciate life and appreciate those around you. So that's kind of the goal of this, you know?
Yeah,
so I'm glad
yeah.
You're on the same page here, man.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, I give you credit every day, like coming from, you know, where you started, like surfing and doing your thing, and then, you know, you're definitely a strong person.
I
It's
appreciate
rad
that,
to see,
man.
you know. I mean, it's definitely given me a, you know, of everyday like power to keep on trucking, and, you know, so.
Right on, man. That's why I'm here.
Yeah,
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, I'm just stoked you know, you keep the positive you got, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Keep the positivity alive, baby. That's what it's
That's
about.
it, right?
So kind of on that same note, might even be the same answer as what you just said, but what's something that you would like other people to kind of take from the surfer, like no worries, chill kind of lifestyle mentality?
I mean, obviously everyone's gonna have their worries in any way. It's you know, I mean, with surfing, it's kind of a personal sport, you know. Also, when you go out and clear your head and you're kind of on your own, but I think you know, you gotta cruise and keep on going forward. That whole mentality of just staying positive is really big. You get a lot of people that just like, they take in a negative and turn it into even more negative, and then they're just getting double, you know, digging a hole. Where if even something's really, really bad, I guess you got to try to look at the better part of it, you know?
The silver lining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, something happened, you know, like recently, like when, you know, I lost my pops, was kind of something happened and I didn't really know in the hospital, and it still got me, you know, super tweaked out and bummed out, but I try to tell myself, hey, you know, what if it was, you know, 10 years before that, you know? So it's just really, you gotta look at the better part of things.
Right.
And I think that's what a lot of people gotta understand, you know? Like, don't dwell, keep on, you know?
Yeah, keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dwelling is definitely a big issue as far as like, we all get the negative thoughts.
Yeah.
But it's whether or not you dwell on it.
For
you
sure.
hold on to that in your mind, because it will drag you down. Like you said, it'll magnify that.
Yeah. And
that negativity, and we don't need that.
No one does, you know, especially it. And if you don't mind me asking, did you, like, far as you powering through, did you ever have I mean, obviously family's big and friends, but like anyone ever kind of inspire you, or you just kept on, you know?
So I can't really say that there was like one person who I really like looked up to.
Yeah.
Like you said, family, friends.
Yeah, that's a big factor for sure.
Yeah, the community. I was very lucky to have family, friends, and you know, the community of Delray, Boynton, and Boca just coming around me. A lot of people don't have that, and it's like they honestly. I was at the hospital in Georgia for 2.5 months, and I had my whole family there the entire time.
Yeah.
There were some. I had a roommate there actually, and I think his parents came and visited him like maybe twice. His girlfriend came like once for like a weekend.
Yeah.
And so some people just don't have that support system, and so I 100% credit where I am and my mentality to the people around me.
For sure.
Who have brought me up and been there to support, whether it's financially or just mentally, like just being there.
Yeah.
And that's like no doubt. It's just it's really all about who you have in the support system. So that's like huge. I can't thank, you, my parents, Kyle, my friends.
For sure.
For helping me out.
I mean, good energy and positive things go a long way,
Long way.
Yeah.
That's what people need to realize.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's always good to have a good support team.
100%, man.
Cool.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah.
You already have a killer perspective on life. I hope this might have tweaked even the smallest thing for you.
Oh, for sure.
And yeah, man, we'll keep on going.
Yeah, maybe next episode will be, hopefully getting you tube time. And,
Yeah, man.
That we'll go live.
Hell yeah. Stay tuned for that one, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you next week on Paralyze This.